well hello there, and welcome to BluLemon Athletics, where we exercise, nourish, and inspire. I'm Crystal, your NASM certified personal trainer, and today I invite you to indulge, reward, and dedicate your body to relaxation with yoga, flexibility, posture, stretching, and functional movement, or for short, PNF, proprioceptive neuromuscular facilitation. So before we plunge into our session, let's go over a few dynamics regarding stretching. Get comfortable, get relaxed, find that tranquility, peace, and let's explore a calming mindset as we set sail in this invigorating journey of self-care and body replenishment. It's important to dedicate some time and energy by thanking our bodies and giving back in a restorative manner. Now, there are 5 total mechanics to improve or enhance your overall flexibility. You have your frequency, your sets and volume, your time, relaxation, and muscle creep. And I am thrilled and delighted to incorporate all of these mechanisms in today's workout. We also have passive versus active stretching. Now, passive is referring to utilizing bands or equipment or even other people to help aid you in that specific stretch. Versus active stretching, which you're going to see today, is where you yourself are actually actively stretching those muscles, those joints, in a full range of motion without the use of any resistance bands or any other props nearby. Then you have dynamic versus static stretching, which again, you'll see both today, very widely used throughout the session. So dynamic stretching is going to involve a full range of motion and is fantastic for improving the overall mobility. Versus the static stretching, you're actually holding without movement for a recommended 20 to 90 seconds at the end range. And then lastly, in connection to stretching, you have my personal dear favorite, SMR, self-myofascial release, aka foam rolling. And you'll see this used time and time again throughout the health and fitness realm. So to kick things off, we're going to begin with a little warm-up of arm circles. I'm on my knees here, but you can stand if you'd like to. Just maintain good posture for me. You can even sit down with your legs folded, nice straight back. We're still engaging our core and our abs here, even though we are working our arms. Control your breath and your movement. Shoulders are down and relaxed. And you're going to switch positions, counter-rotate after so many. And you can even increase the size of your circles. Get creative here. We're warming them up, and I already feel a burn. And reverse. We're gonna go for about 15 more seconds here. Wonderful. 10. Excellent. Working those arms in the warm-up, preparing them. Wonderful. Moving on. And now we're going to sequence into our knee hug. Notice I've grabbed a nice yoga mat to go ahead and get situated onto the floor. You're going to take one knee and pull it in ever so slightly into the chest. Hug that knee nice and low and press firmly, avoiding the joints. Right on the calf, press it in. Heels are both flexed, elongated. For your other leg, as this one is pulled in, you're breathing, your shoulders are down and relaxed. Focusing on the slight pull and tug to the furthest point of sensation to your end range without causing any injury, discomfort, or pain. A few more seconds here before we switch to the next. Eyes are closed if you'd like. As we settle in for these last few seconds. Awesome. Fantastic. Switching over. And then for our other side transition, on your yoga mat, lying down, and now beginning to pull in that other knee. Close in towards your chest. The idea is to try to get it towards your shoulder if possible. Both feet continue to be flexed. You're comfortable here. Slight pull, really stretching out. You can feel the muscles at work as they're elongating, which will help overall to build your strength. Great for mobility and functional everyday living. Stretching should be an ongoing exercise throughout the morning, afternoon, and evening. Most definitely to keep you nice and limber. A few more seconds here. Amazing. Okay, let's move on. So for your side reach, we're just going to simply reach over to one side, your right or your left, making sure to keep our chest proud here. We're not sinking or arching it down. Everything is nice and aligned and in tune with the body and breath. As we arch to the left or the right, whichever you started with, keeping in line with syncing our breath at the same time, enjoying the stretch. You can even place this other arm downward if you'd like to sink deeper for a more progressive approach. If knees are an issue here, you can always pad them with a mat or a towel underneath as an option. 10 more seconds on this side. You've got it. This is a mental mind. Excellent. And we're going to switch to the other side. So for this side here, same approach and method. Dynamics are very similar. You're reaching over. I can already tell this side for me is a little bit tighter. And I'm increasing the stretch by simply releasing from my hip, my hand to the floor, making sure to open up the chest and keep it proud and lifted. My neck is in a neutral position to where it's comfortable and it's not strained. And I'm simply just stretching and reaching and opening up the hips in my side. One with my breath. My gaze is towards the sky, whichever's comfortable for you. This is all about finding your depth and level of flexibility. A few more seconds here. 5. Sensational. Now for this one, we're going to do a low lunge with a side reach. So very, very similar. We're just in a low lunge position, and now we're going to reach over and do a little bit of a deeper stretch. So before we were on our knees, but now we're actually in a low lunge. One knee is rested onto the earth. The other is bent, making sure that the knee tracks over the ankle and not the toes. A bit of balance here, but find your positioning and sink into it. We're really making sure that we open up our bodies and fully stretch here. Excellent. A few more seconds. Good job. And then for your other side, nice lunge, nice and low, keeping your form consistent. And you're reaching your body across the opposite side. And you're breathing. Perhaps this side might be tighter than your last. And you're just readjusting if need be. But you're really gaining a lot of sensibility from the stretch. It's benefiting you in ways that will thank your body later. A few more seconds here. 20 seconds, I know you can do it. Just readjust, realign, reconnect, refocus, and sink back into it. It's absolutely fine to come on out of it and join us back in. There you have it, 3 seconds. Terrific. Moving on. Onto the cobra stretch. So for your cobra stretch, you're going to lie onto the floor, onto your mat. Hands are next to your pectorals as you reach up towards the sky, legs together, and you're arching your back while gazing slightly towards the ceiling, making sure not to strain the neck, so forward is more comfortable with a slight gaze up. It's definitely welcome and encouraged. Your arms are straight, but your joints are never really quite locked. They're very pliable. We don't want to lock them out completely, but they're nice and straight at the same time. We're arching back for 10 more seconds. Cobra pose. Really feel it in your lower back. Just a nice pull. Slowly get up. Take your time with this one. No need to rush. Wonderful job. The figure 4 stretch. Nice and comfortable here on your mat. Go ahead and let your shoulders, your back, relax down to the mat. And you're slightly pulling in, not at the joint, but underneath the inner thigh here. You're pulling in at the hamstring. A nice pool of tension to that end range, which is the point of sensation without causing injury. And we're holding for under a minute. Feet are flexed, mind is relaxed, and you can feel this in your glutes. Your hip flexors are opening up, doing wonders for your body. Fantastic way to start or end the day. A few more seconds here and we'll switch to our other side. Good job. Now we're alternating sides. Same idea here. Relax your shoulders. Wow, this feels amazing. Pulling in just as far as your body will allow and accept. Finding that mental space. Enjoying the stretch and the value of the figure 4. Leaving your worries and troubles and to-do lists out the door. I'm not trying to rhyme, but it comes natural, so we're going with it. Plus I have young kids. But right now this is all about you and your time, your space, your energy, your mental mind, working in unison with your body. Relax, restore, recover. A few more seconds here. All right. Good job. Moving on. So for your single leg forward fold, this one's going to take a certain level of flexibility, but I want you to be mindful that it takes time, but you're really going to go ahead and follow your arm over your head to reach down to the toes, keeping your chest outward and proud towards the sky. If your limit today is just to simply reach for that foot and creep up towards the ankle, that's fine. Maybe it's the thigh for you or right at the knee joint. Either way, you're keeping your chest slightly outward and not in towards the leg completely. We're being mindful of our backs. And you're working your way to the end range of compensation here to where you're not creating injury, but you are reaping in the benefits of that wonderful and glorious hold. Let's switch over to the other side. And so for our other side, same concept here. leg is extended and you're reaching up and over the head towards the toes. Remember to keep that chest outward. Relax and sink into the stretch with one breath and movement. And then continue to breathe. Great job. About 30 more seconds here. See if you can reach a little bit further if your body allows, and hold for that static stretch. Just a few more seconds. Fantastic. 20 more seconds to go. You've got this. Feel that pull and that sensation. 10 seconds left. Try to rest your head upon the knee if possible. I know it's tight. All right. Whew, you're amazing. So if you have an extra handy yoga mat, I would keep that very fresh and available here as we transition into our Warrior One pose. We're going to start with a low lunge and slowly creep up into an actual warrior position with the back leg straight, but yet your foot is planted on the ground firmly flat at a 45-degree angle. As we sink our hips and square them towards the front, be mindful of your knee not overextending the toes. It should be in line with the ankle. You might need to adjust your toes by sinking in further for your lunge. Shoulders are down and relaxed. And we take our arms overhead as you gaze slightly up towards the sky. Warrior One pose. Maintain that straight back leg if possible as you sink your hips down low to the earth. Checking your alignment and your breath in unison. This is a very powerful and strong move. Very difficult to really perfect. It takes a lot of time, effort, strength, and willpower, both mental and physical. Warrior One. Gaze towards the sky. You're doing excellent, by the way. 30 more seconds in this pose. Breath is key. And sink, check your alignment, your toes. Sink down low if you can. Pulse a tiny bit. If necessary, you can feel a little shake in the muscles, especially during the posterior chain. 10 seconds left, goddess and gods, you have it. You're an athlete. Warrior. Wonderful. Same idea here, just switching the sides. So again, getting into that low lunge. 45-degree angle for that back foot, nice and straight for the leg. Sink down, creep your toes further forward to align that knee over ankle. Sink down and slowly begin to lift the arms up. You can lean back a little bit. Does require a bit more balance, but the idea is to really increase that lunge and sink low and maintain that back straight leg. Square the hips forward and make sure that that foot in the back is completely flat against the earth. Gaze forward or above. Excellent, 1 more minute. I'm telling you, this is a warrior pose for a reason. It takes a lot of stability and strength, poise, balance, and power. You can sweat during this move, and it's a static stretch, and you can still sweat. Awesome. Not much longer, 30 seconds. And if you need to come on out, that's absolutely fine. Just go ahead and join us back in to maintain that strength and stability. Find your happy place. Square those hips forward. Excellent. 10 seconds on the clock. Wonderful. Come on out And breathe. Reposition yourself as necessary. Absolutely fine. It's all about progressing. You mastered it. Moving on. Now off to our warrior two pose. Go ahead and pick a side. Careful when you come on up into position for your lunge. This time, your back foot is still going to be planted solid and firmly on the ground, but now it's at a 90-degree angle opposed to the 45 with warrior one. Also, while you're sinking down, instead of squaring your hips forward like you did for warrior one, they're going to be more outward. Raise your arms, but keep them nice and low, shoulders down and relaxed. Creep up those toes a little bit more to align just perfectly with the knee over your ankle opposed to toes. Your gaze is right down that middle finger there. Strong, strengthening pose. Requires much relaxation and mindfulness. Excellent job. You have 1 minute left. Feel free to step out if needed and join us back in. Be mindful of those shoulders. Keep those arms down low. And make sure they're tracking in one unison line. Imagine an invisible line going down the middle of your yoga mat. Heat is rising here. Great, good alignment. If you can sink a little further, feel free. Awesome, 30 seconds left. Fantastic before we switch sides. Feel those muscles, they're burning and strengthening at the same time. Awesome job, guys and gals. You've got this. 10 seconds. Nobody said yoga was easy. Awesome. Phenomenal. Let's switch sides. All right, now on for our alternate side for our warrior two pose. Remember to lift very carefully. Adjust that back footing to 90 degrees, straight leg in the back. Creep your toes forward into a nice low lunge with the hips. We are opening up our hips here, opposed to squaring them forward in warrior one. Our arms are out and extended like so. Shoulders down, relaxed. Gaze is down that middle finger. Watch your knee, make sure it's tracking over the ankle, opposed to the toes. Back leg is nice and aligned, 90 degree, planted firmly onto the earth. Settle. And stretching aids in increasing your energy levels, your posture, balance, mobility, and strengthening. Awesome job. 1 minute left. You're amazing. Elongate, lengthen, expand. Breathe. Inhale as you move into the stretch. Exhale to settle. And inhale to move in a little bit deeper and lower in this case. 30 seconds. Come on out of it if needed and sink right back into it again. Wonderful warrior. We all have our own levels of flexibility and strength, but we're all working together. Awesome job. 10 seconds. I know you can do this. Whew. Told you so. Onto your peaceful warrior pose. Now for this one, go ahead, resume your position into that lunge. We're gonna do a 45-degree angle with that back foot there. And for this one, as we sink, make sure you mind your toes, that they're far enough forward and your knee is tracking over the ankle. For this one, you're going to start with one arm And you're going to reach upward as you sink. Notice the right arm is tracking down the leg toward the calf as I extend and lean back, but I'm not putting any pressure on this hand. It's just simply resting there. I'm opening up as I'm breathing and leaning back. This back leg is straight. And I'm sinking down into my peaceful warrior pose. My gaze is up towards the ceiling. This does take a bit of balance to get used to. When you find your setting, go ahead and settle into it with your breath. Watch your knee. Make sure that it's nice and straight and it's not bending in. I need to adjust mine ever so slightly to get back into alignment. And there we are. Excellent job. About 40 seconds here. You've got this. Excellent. Find your composure and your breath. Go ahead and sink out if need be. You've got about 30 seconds left. You may need to adjust your stance ever so slightly. And right back in. Your breath is your best friend here. Awesome job. 10 seconds. You've got this. A lot of strength. And slowly come on to. And now on to your other side with your peaceful warrior. Simply transitioning to your other leg. .45-degree angle there. Sink in, and you're going to reverse your arms. Now my back arm is gazing downward towards the calf, but I'm not pushing on it. It's just resting. I'm using my entire core and my leg strength, especially my back planted foot, to hold my balance and strength. We're giving back to the earth with our bodies, sinking into our mind with the peaceful warrior, making sure to realign and readjust as needed. Another pose that takes time and experience to perfect. It's an ongoing work of art. Mind your breath. 40 seconds on the clock. And sink. Tracking the knee over the ankle. Make sure your knee's not caving in. It's all about alignment here. You and your yoga mat. Come on out if need be. And simply join us back in. 20 seconds on the clock. Feel that sweat. The good energy you're providing your mat as you sink into the pose. Awesome job. 5 seconds. Hold it. You've got this. And complete. I knew you could do it. This one's a real treat. Thread the needle pose. So we're going to begin with tabletop. So your hands are right below your shoulders. Your hips are right above your knees. And we're going to go ahead and extend one arm. I'm going to start with my right. We're going to bring it all the way up and thread it through underneath your torso and rest on the right shoulder. And you're really going to feel the stretch. It's amazing. It's called thread the needle. And you're going to relax and sink right here. If you'd like to bring this arm forward to get a deeper sensation and stretch for your full range and your end range, most welcome. And you're simply going to indulge and just breathe into the stretch. Thread the needle. About 30 more seconds here. You can even increase your level of progression by moving in a little bit deeper there. You can even put this arm behind you and tuck it in like so over the thigh. Few more seconds, and make sure you're opening up that shoulder, really trying to roll it back to get the full benefit of the thread the needle. And just breathe. Nice deep breaths, in through the nose, out through the mouth. A few more seconds. When you're coming out of the stretch, it's very important to take your time and come out very slowly. All right, let's transition to the other side. And now for the other side, for thread the needle. Again, tabletop position, making sure your alignment looks fantastic. You've got your shoulders over your wrists and your hips dropping right over the knees, flat back. Lift up that other arm as high as you can and far back. And very carefully and slowly, send it through, thread the needle as far as you can reach. The back of your palm on the floor. Take that right arm and reach out and rest on that left shoulder. For me, I switched to my left side. For you, it may be your right. And sink in deep here. Enjoy the stretch. Fill your mind with good thoughts. Right here, right now, in this place. Wonderful stretch for a wonderful you. Getting back to our bodies. Crawl in, maybe a little bit deeper if necessary. Readjust and realign. And sink in further to your mat. And thread the needle. A few more seconds here. Maybe you're closing your eyes. Your jaw is slightly open, lips are slightly open. Just completely and utterly relaxed. Unhinge. Relax the jaw. Simply sink. Sink into peacefulness and tranquility. Making sure to be mindful to relocate that hand to help you up. And time. Great job. You're amazing. Moving on. Now we're on to goddess pose. So for this one, we want to begin with a wide-legged stance on our yoga mat. 45-degree angle for our feet. Our knees are going to be tracking over the ankles ever so slightly, and we're going to lower down. You would like to have, the idea here is to have your thighs parallel to the floor, and that's the difficult part. Also, your seat needs to be tucked inward and not sticking out. We're not in squat here. So we are in the goddess pose, and you can definitely feel the tightness, and you just want to sink. Keep the knees back. Get comfortable. I pulse a tad bit to find my adjustment. And you're going to sink as low as you can. You can have your hands up like so. Got about a minute left here. Just like a goddess. Making sure to really tuck that pelvis forward is the key. You can feel the burn in the glutes and definitely the hamstrings. Your whole posterior chain right now. All the way down to the calves. has sensation, which is good. We're feeling a little burn here while we're participating in this static stretch. Really the knees. Make sure that they're back and your booty is tucked in forward with that pelvis and you're sinking low. And if you need to come on out of it, come on out. But then remember to sink back down. You've got this. 20 seconds. And you can even move it around a little bit. Almost like a Kundalini experience. But either way, you are sinking and you are really making sure to keep the proper form here. I'm moving my ankles a little bit further to adjust. It'll be a different stance for everyone depending. There you have it. You did it. Whew, wonderful. Moving on to our downward facing dog. So this one, we want to start in tabletop position. And we're going to slowly curl our toes here, just to get them nice and flexed and comfortable. We're going to begin to raise the hips upward, stretch them out, get comfortable here with your foot spacing. The idea here is to have your gaze in between the toes and really push in to feel that nice stretch. Eventually this will be becoming a rest posture move for you to take a rest as you get more comfortable and experienced with the downward dog position. My fingers are nice and spread wide on the mat, and I'm distributing my weight within my toes, my back heels, my fingers, my shoulders and arms. Everything is well distributed here, even down to my calves, as the energy rises up through the hips and back down through the heels. Really relaxing the neck here. Fantastic job. 40 seconds to go. And you can even bicycle out your calves here. And then sink back into the position for your downward dog. And it's up to you to increase or decrease your level of strength and flexibility here. Great job. Just enjoy this and close your eyes if you'd like to relax the mind altogether. 8 seconds on the clock. Booty nice and high. Hips are high. And come on back down to the earth to reconnect with your body. Wonderful move. I'd like to make our way into butterfly pose or cobbler pose, where the intent here is to get into a nice seated, comfortable butterfly position, and we're going to simply fold down over our toes. If you'd like to cross them like so, that's absolutely welcome. You're going to go ahead and slowly and control fall right over, keeping the buttocks downward towards the mat as you collapse over your legs. And try to relax the forehead to the mat, if at all possible, while extending the arms and fingers and crawling them inch by inch out in front of you. Shoulders are down and relaxed. You're melting onto your mat. And you're simply giving in to gravity here as you fold downward. Every breath on the exhale, try to squeeze a few more inches forward as you settle, making sure to keep the buttocks right on the mat there. Feel the intensity in that stretch as you have 15 seconds left on the clock. Reaching out, reaching forward. Relaxing the elbows onto the mat. Perfect. Really nice job there. Good job. To take on the boat pose, go ahead and sit on your sits bones as you lift and elevate the legs and arms like so, controlling and engaging those abs. Everything's tight. We're focusing our energy on balance and poise here. We're maintaining our shoulders downward, relaxed and rolled back. Knees are together as far as they'll go. And you're just balancing like a boat. Arms are extended alongside your knees. Neutral gaze here. Your feet can be a little higher if you'd like for a challenge, or nice and low, depending on your level. Definitely more of a challenge to keep them nice and high, nice and elevated. As the muscles begin to quiver and shake, we are building that strength upon them. Fantastic. Great, good job. To ease into the pigeon pose, I remind you that downward dog may in fact be the best way, most effective way to get into this process for the pigeon pose. So if you begin with the downward dog, you'll take one of your legs and extend it behind as you slowly bring it in parallel to your yoga mat, while the back extended leg is moving further behind you, as you can really feel this stretch here. And this knee should be towards the end, the edge of this yoga mat. Feet are nice and flexed, and if you'd like to, you can crawl down to the forearms and enjoy the benefits here. Or for a third option, you can go all the way down to where your head touches the mat ever so slightly. And you're working on your breath. Nice and solid here for your pigeon pose. Excellent. Really feel the hip flexors getting a nice stretch as you sink in deeper. Now one side will definitely be more tight than the other, especially with those hip flexors. And once you get settled, crawl down a little deeper, a little bit more, working on that breath. Excellent job. 15 seconds left on the clock. You've got this. Feels amazing. Take your time getting up, nice and slow and controlled. No quick movements here. And we'll move on to our other side. And then for your other side, beginning off with a downward dog, you're going to simply take the other leg, extend up above you, and bring it into a parallel position towards the top of your yoga mat, while scooting the extended leg back further and curling the toes and settling. Feet are flexed, and working your way down, if this is a possibility, to your forearms to intensify the stretch. Pigeon pose, and then third or lastly, down to the mat. Surrender yourself to the mat and into the pose for pigeon. Try to relax and unwind and whirl the body. Sink into your mind and your breath. Excellent. A few more seconds. And there we go. Take your time getting up, of course. Woo, you're rocking it. Great job, good work, excellent. So now we'll go ahead and let's take a final rest here into child's pose. Nice and comfortable, you deserve it. Great workout, nice stretching. As we sink down to the earth, into child's pose, just for a moment, thank our bodies and thank ourselves for all of the effort as we nourish ourselves together in this wonderful stretch. Try to place your glutes right on top of the heels if possible. You can even press back a tad bit, but you're really surrendering to the mat. So eventually just rest and settle into the stretch and be at peace with oneself. Thank our bodies for working so hard for us, as we expect more for them tomorrow and as the days pass. Very thankful indeed. All right, my inner athletes. Whew, awesome job. Wonderful way to add value and so much more to your flexibility, overall mobility, and functional movements throughout your life. Stretching, flexibility, it's all connected, and it should definitely be performed in a progressive and systematic approach, meaning you want to carry this through on a daily basis, continuously stretch and grow your body. It has greater growth potential for your muscles by stretching, and the benefits are just profoundly wonderful. So I hope you enjoyed the workout. Please go ahead and subscribe to BluLemon Athletics to keep connected, ring the bell for notifications, and click the thumbs up if you enjoyed today's workout video. Also, check us out at our website, www.BluLemonAthletics.com. I do offer personal certified training for online virtual clients, tons of fun, great program designs, and a lot of benefits and perks that are also included for members. Thank you so much for everything, and I hope that you check us out again for another video and some really cool, awesome, fun backgrounds to come your way. Thanks guys, enjoy. Also, be sure to check out all of the social media platforms available for BluLemon Athletics. Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, and Twitter. BluLemon Athletics, a zesty you with a splash of invigorating blue. Thanks guys, BluLemon out.